President Biden didn't really have a plan for avian flu. Well, Brooke Rollins and I have been working with all the best people in government, including academics around the country and around the world, to have a plan ready for the president next week on what we're going to do with avian flu. Having a smart perimeter is what we're working on, and we're finalizing the ideas about how to do that with the best scientists in government.
Well, you know, the Trump administration accidentally fired some of those best scientists. NBC News has reported that the USDA admitted that it had accidentally fired several agency employees that were working on a response to the avian flu outbreak, the bird flu outbreak, which, by the way, Trump might want to get a handle on, because that is one of the main reasons why there's so much inflation in grocery stores, grocery prices. So when there's testing for avian flu among chickens, if one chicken, for instance, tests positive, they end up having to kill all the chickens, in that group. And that's led to a shortage of eggs. That has led to inflation as it pertains to egg prices. Now, the agency is scrambling to reverse the firings. A USDA spokesperson said in a statement, although several positions supporting bird flu efforts were notified of their terminations over the weekend, we are working to swiftly rectify the situation and rescind those letters. USDA's Food Safety and Inspection Service frontline positions are considered public safety positions, and we are continuing to hire the workforce necessary to ensure the safety and adequate supply of food to fulfill our statutory mission. But look, this is something that I'll say, like some might argue, whatever, I mean, their termination letters were rescinded. Why are you freaking out? What's the big deal? I'm just gonna say, if I were in their position, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking a federal job knowing how unstable the situation is. These are human beings. Many of them have children, families to take care of, food to put on the table. Why would you want to deal with the constant fear of potentially losing your job at any moment because of Elon Musk and DOGE? So I don't know if these people are going to go back to their post after the, decision to rescind the termination letters, but this isn't the way you do things. Again, this is the federal government. This isn't Twitter. This isn't a social media platform. It's far more serious than that. So maybe have a bit of a process rather than just coming in and taking a wrecking ball to every federal agency. John.
Yeah, and even if they do go back, what is it going to be the same? You don't think they're going to, do the job a little bit differently? Maybe go look for some other work. But they don't think about that because Donald Trump and Elon Musk, they don't think of workers as like full people. They've never been that thing. They're just inconveniences. Workers are just like a necessary evil until they're replaced by AI. Or in the case of Elon Musk, maybe engineers imported from India or whatever. Like he's okay with that, I guess. But AI and robots. And until now, it's like, we'll fire you and you'll come back. You need it, right? You eat like bread and soup or something and you need to pay for that. Okay, well then you'll obviously take your job back and you'll be totally loyal. It's just they don't have natural humanity, and so they don't understand how humans work. And like my fear with something like bird flu, first of all, I'm surprised, I guess, that they did hire them back. I don't see why he'd be particularly worried about presiding over a terrible pandemic. He got reelected after the first one. Yeah. So why would we expect that he'd take the next one more seriously? You think Fox is gonna take it seriously? You think MAGA is gonna do what's necessary to stay safe? But with nuclear safety and stuff, it's like we're already seeing so many of these. FAA, they fired a bunch of people. USDA just lost a bunch of their food inspectors, and we already didn't have nearly enough. OSHA inspectors, that's gonna be gone. That's not gonna exist in a year. And so bird flu is like, that's the tragedy of the moment. But they're not gonna get to the sort of cuts that they want without cutting a lot of people with truly critical roles, safeguarding us in 1,000 different ways.
And by the way, look, I know I keep harping on the price of eggs, mostly because that's already impacted my household. So like that's top of mind. But the avian flu is a lot more serious than that. Okay, look at the beautiful eggs, big beautiful eggs. Anyway, no, there's now evidence showing that avian flu is spreading among human beings. So the latest CDC tracking data suggests that the virus could be spreading among humans without even being detected. They've confirmed 68 cases among humans in the United States so far. And within the past 10 days alone, 3 different states have reported new, known, and likely bird flu infections in humans. So this is a really big deal. And it's important to maintain the federal workers who are working really hard to find a solution to this, not only to keep egg prices low or get them lower again, but also to protect actual human beings. And by the way, DOGE's accidental firings are so egregious that even some Republicans remembered that they might have a little bit of courage, maybe a tiny little smidge of testicular fortitude. So Representative Don Bacon, a member of the Agriculture Committee, called them out, saying that they need to be more cautious. There's an old saying, measure twice, cut once. Well, they are measuring once. They're not even measuring, in my opinion, and having to cut twice. Some of this stuff they're going to have to return back. I just wish they'd make a better decision up front. Here. I totally agree with you on that. But will they? Probably not. Similar mistake was made last week when the administration fired some nuclear safety employees. They tried to notify those staffers that they are actually going to be reinstated, but struggled to find them because they didn't have their new contact information. So, winning.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.